Living pain here. Hope all is well. Well, I'm combining 2 days again, and part of the reason is there wasn't a lot to report yesterday, so kind of compress them all. What can I say? I guess, what was it? Friday? Got to bed. Yeah, it was a late one. Got to bed at 5 in the morning. We were down at the Pig and Whistle, which is our home bar. Just having way too much fun listening to 70s music, cocktails, all that sort of good, fun stuff. And so yesterday was a bit of a write-off. It was a rest day for me on working out, and it was more like just catch up on your sleep. I have it on the screen there, but I think I had 11 or 12 hours of sleep. It was crazy. So now we're back Saturday. I weighed in at 203.8, I think, which is not too bad, all things considered. And also, I did a double workout today. It's the first time that I've done a bike followed by a run, which is called a brick workout. So you're stacking two workouts on each other. So the bike ride was 1 hour and 45 minutes inside. And surprisingly, it went a lot faster than I thought. When you ride your bike inside on a trainer, it's a little bit mind-numbing. And then after the bike ride, change into my running clothes and scoot out the door and do a run. And that went well, and keeping the heart rate all under 134 beats. So it's really good. I think I said, or not I think, I did say on Thursday I did a tempo run, which has, some sets in it, 5 minute or 1 minute accelerations and set of this, set of that, and to the point where you have to bring a piece of paper that has the workout when you're doing the run. So I felt like an athlete. It's like, oh man, like doing speed work. It wasn't speed work, it was tempo work, and difference is the heart rate's not, and the effort's not as hard, but it's still a good effort. So did that, took Friday off, then today I thought it was going to be interesting. Legs actually feel pretty good. The run felt pretty good, and I got it all done by 1:30, which is great. We have lockdown here, which means I'm going to save some money. 28 days where no restaurants or anything are going to be open, which our greatest fun for Alice and I is on the weekends to go to the local restaurant / bar, sit in the lounge, watch TV, have a few cocktails, that sort of thing. Instead of that, again, keeping the calorie counting, but decided, hey, you know what I haven't had in a long time? A Mai Tai. So we went out today and got the ingredients that we're missing for a Mai Tai. That's the kind of life we live right now. It's so exciting. I had a question asked, how do you drink so much beer? And I was like, yeah, my average sitting is like 18 to 24 beer. How do you drink so much liquid? And I thought that was a good question. And other than I go to the bathroom a lot, and it's just, I don't know, I guess you just get into it. The feelings keep going, the buzz, and you just keep going. And with my personality and my behavior from my personality is I'm an all or nothing person. Hence the type of sports I do, Ironman Triathlons, that sort of thing. Go big or go home. And, it's just, it is what it is. It's not good or bad. It's just who I am. So I guess that's part of the reason. Although I have found that if I drink 2 Malo 5s before I start having beers or anything, I actually start drinking like a civilized human being and sip my beer. And example was, I think yesterday just had a couple of Malos and then went out for lunch because it was the last day it was open. 1 beer, that's all I could handle. I think Alice had 2 drinks to my 1, which is totally unheard of. And then just go home and chill out. And we found this great, I shouldn't say great, actually it's pretty damn good. It's called Serpent off of Netflix, which is based on some true events, and a guy who kills people, kind of a serial killer thing. So we've been doing that. I have been staying the straight and narrow on the eating. This week, tomorrow's my long run, so that's 1 hour and 20 minutes. So this will be almost a full week other than swimming, where I'm kind of getting back on track, and it just feels good. It's bringing me back to a certain reality. And as I mentioned before, basically what goes on in your life is your reality, right? If you're out of shape and heavy and not eating properly, the mental state you're in is not the greatest reality, or typically, unless you come to peace with your fatness, which I do know a guy who's done it. And I almost got to that point where you just go, okay, either I'm going to get thin or lose weight, get healthy, or I'm just going to enjoy my fatness. And I have to respect the people that say, hey, I'm going to enjoy my fatness. Maybe not the most healthy thing to do and all the rest of it, but if they can do that, look in the mirror, not give a crap, all that stuff, and just look forward and live their life, hey, all the power to them. And I was at that point, I had a guy I worked with that basically, I think he was at the time 57, close to 60 pushing. And he goes, you know what I like about this age? I don't care how I look. And the guy actually he kind of had a Barney Rubble body. He's probably Fred Flintstone, Barney Rubble. And I actually respected it when he said it. He says, yeah, I don't give a crap. This is the way it is. And I've been at that point. I remember back in my early 40s, I was like, okay, man, either shut up about you being overweight or out of shape and do something about it, or just enjoy your fatness. And I did something about it. And then, of course, drifted and got back up 50 pounds and had the same sort of conversation with myself last year. Although the big thing last year that was different is it's not so much about not being fat, it's more about being healthy. And, I had talked to my doctor. I did kind of a quasi-physical. He sent me in for a bunch of blood work a couple of weeks ago. And it came back, there was, my A1C was like 6.2, just a little bit more than what he would like to see. And, he says, look, the one thing, diabetes is A1C. My wife is diabetic. She's a type 1, takes the needles and all that. So I know a little bit about it. And, the big thing he said is, and I've got a couple of family members that are on, type 2 diabetics popping the pills. And I know how important keeping your blood sugar is. And the doctor said to me, he said, man, just the number one way to keep, out of that type 2 diabetes is to keep your weight down. And if you can stay slim, I think that was a word, slender or thin, or not thin, whatever, you know what I mean, stay within where you're probably supposed to be. He said that's probably the most important thing. So of course I'll be getting that checked. And the other, thing, was just my creatinine, which I haven't went back for retesting yet. I want to kind of have like what Dr. Fonseca, who follows the vlog, maybe when there's a couple of rest days so that the body's not breaking down things, so that we'll see if in fact my creatinine's high or if it was just a byproduct, because your body makes creatinine, or it's higher in creatinine when your muscles are being torn down and all that sort of stuff. So I've got to say, feeling good, it's like, I was looking at my chart where I was going down, and then the last 6 months it's been like this. It's been like I've been going over a road with speed bumps. And I was thinking today, I probably could be down 50 pounds if I really, I should be. I could have been, would have been, should have been at least 40 pounds. But, life goes on, you self-sabotage yourself, The one thing though I will say is my calves are feeling good, my body's feeling good. I definitely think I had adrenal fatigue. I'm doing everything right that my coach tells me, taking the herbal supplements, drinking the licorice tea, trying to stay away from any refined sugars, although I had some hard candies. I like just put them in my mouth and letting them dissolve. But staying away from coffee, caffeines, all that sort of stuff. What more can I say? It's, today, we're going to be going. There's a place for deep dish Italian pizza in Hamilton, which is like a city over. It's about a 30-minute drive. So we're actually going to spend an hour of our day driving from our house 30 minutes to this Chicago-style pizza place. I think that's what it's called, Chicago-style pizza. And pick it up and then drive it all the way back. So you're talking, it's going to be about 70-kilometer drive just to get a pizza. I got to try it out, see if it's any good or not. And again, it's okay if I have that, as long as I just don't overeat. And then we'll, head down to the Pig, have some mallows. I want to make a Mai Tai. I don't know why. I'm not a hard liquor sort of person. And there's just something in me that was like, hey, it'd be kind of cool is to have a Mai Tai. Change it up a little bit. Watch some TV, listen to some music. Hopefully it's not going to be too late of a night. But whenever I say that, you never know. You play it by ear how the night's going. So it is Saturday. Tomorrow is a rest day. But I don't want to go too crazy or get too dehydrated because I have a long run, and when you dehydrate yourself, you definitely feel it, and you can get cramping and all the rest of that stuff, especially in the calves. So I don't want to be too bad of a boy, but I'll never be a good boy. Other than that, there's not a lot to report, and I've got to, every time I say I'm going to get on the straight and narrow, and man, I do it for a few days and then it's like jumping off. So I've got to, maybe the training, after a week or two of training and seeing a lot of the positive results in that, it'll just maybe kickstart me to just, all I would need is like another month or 6. If I had a month or 6 weeks or 2 months, 60 days of just straight and narrow, I'd be at my goal. Without question, I'd be there. It's just the self-discipline and wanting to live life. And it's that, you've got the devil on one shoulder and you've got the angel on the other shoulder, and each is kind of yakking to each other. And, it's... the struggle is real, man. The struggle is real. Anyway, what can I say? I'm living. Got to look for the positive. I'm on the right side of the ground. I finished a brick workout today. You got to look at the wins. I have my win journal. If you're ever looking for a win journal where I write my wins every day, there's a link in my description called thewinjournal.com. And that's where every day I just write my wins so that I can always reflect back, because every day there is something that goes on that is a win, and you just got to celebrate, whatever wins those are. Anyway, that's it for me, Living Pain. Have a good one. We will see you tomorrow.